Okay, moving ahead with the next topic that we have is starting with the topic functions. Now, what is a function? Function is nothing but a representation of an algebraic equation itself. Okay, here in algebra, we used to study it as like x is equal to 2x, 2y plus 3, or 2y is equal to x plus 7y. This is so these are the equations that are given to you. Likewise, it is a part of algebra itself, functions. Now in here, what you're going to do is the questions are asked directly. If in case x is equal to 6, if x is equal to 6, find, I'm giving an example, 2x plus 3. What do you do? X is equal to 6 means in place of x you would substitute a 6 and you would get the answer, right? That becomes a 12 plus 3, that which is equal to 15. The same thing is going to be done in here. Here they are saying f of x is equal to 6 and the function of x is already given to you. What is the function of x given to you as? F of x is equal to 1 over 2x plus 4 is given to you. Okay, so when you substitute in, if you see in the place of x they have given you a 6, so in this equation wherever there is an x also I have to put in 6 over there. So it becomes 1 over 2 times of 6 plus 4. You have the calculator, simplify it and do it. If not, if the calculator is not allowed, then it goes as 2 1 times and 3 times. Then it becomes 3 plus 4, which is equal to a 7. So f of 6 is equal to 7 is what you write. Further ahead, it is given that work out fg of minus 3. What does this mean? How do you read it? You read it as fg of, it's actually read as f of g of minus 3. This is what you read it. F of g of minus 3 is how you read it. Okay, now but what does that mean? That means that minus 3 is going into g and whatever the answer would be, that would go into the f. So let's see. I said minus 3 into g first. Okay, fine. Now this is the g equation that is given. So g of minus 3 first we will write that, and in place of x you're going to put a minus 3. Minus 3 plus 1 comes in here, which goes as 2 3's minus 6, and this becomes a minus 2. Minus minus goes off 2 1 times and 3 times. So you get g of minus 3 as 3. Now this g of 3, whatever the value is, that is to be substituted into f. So now g of minus 3 is 3. So in this particular equation f of x, I have to substitute f of 3 now. Okay, 1 by 2 x plus 4 is there, right? So in place of now x, we are going to substitute the 3 here. So 1 over 2 times 3 plus 4 is what I have. That becomes 3 over 2 plus 4. You have to take the LCM and then do it because there's no LCM here. So multiplies by 2 multiplies by 2, this part, isn't it? So that becomes 3 plus 4 2 is 8. 3 plus 8 over 2 is what you get. That is equal to 11 over 2. You can leave your answer here like this or write it in decimal, which is 5.5 for this one. Okay, so let me just show it to you all over again what we have done for this one. This is lagging again. Okay, so what do we do in here? We are going to apply the same logic. What is the logic that we are going to apply? We are going to apply minus 3 is going to go in g first of all. So I have my g, that is 2x. In place of x everywhere, a minus 3 would come. Minus 3 plus 1. You have your calculator, substitute the full thing into the calculator and do it. Okay, so this becomes a minus 6 upon minus 3 over plus 1 becomes a minus 2. Minus minus gone, 2 ones are and 3's are. So it becomes a 3. Now this 3 is to be, now g of minus 3 is 3. Now this answer is supposed to be substituted in the f column, f function. So f of x, f of 3 it becomes now, that is 1 over 2 times of x. X is nothing but a 3 now, plus 4. That becomes 3 over 2 plus 4, and you know how to simplify it in the calculator now. So the final answer is turning out to be 5.5 is what we see. Now then they are saying that g of a is equal to minus 2. For the same question, what is g of x given to you first? G of x is given as 2x over x plus 1. Now what they have done is, first of all, they have taken g of a. Okay, so that means wherever there is x, there is an a. So I will rewrite this with an a. Okay, I'm rewriting that these with an a, and then he's saying that this g of a, now this is the g of a, is equal to minus 2, is equal to minus 2, and I have to find the value of a. So how will I do it? I will send this thing towards the other side to start simplifying it. So it becomes 2a is equal to minus 2. From denominator, if it is going, it goes in the numerator. That means this is in the division of, after going here it goes in multiplication. Okay, then it becomes 2a is equal to minus 2a and minus 2. Then I will bring all the a terms together like we do in algebra. 2a plus 2a is equal to minus 2. This becomes 4a is equal to minus 2. 4 ones are, sorry, 4 twos are 4, 2 1 times 2 times. So 2a is equal to minus 1, and a is equal to minus 1 over 2 is what I get. It is a negative half that you have. Okay. What it is saying, it says express the inverse of a function f of x. So the f of x, what was f of x? Let's write down. F of x was half x plus 4 was the f of x. Now you have to do the inverse of the function. So there are two steps. There are certain steps in doing the inverse of the function. What are the steps in doing the inverse of the function? The steps being, first equate it to y. Okay, equate to y. Okay, so when you equate it to y is equal to 1 by 2 x plus 4. Then make x as the subject, make x the subject. Okay, so you have to move everything away from here. It becomes y minus 4, and this 2 is in the denominator. It goes towards the other side, goes in multiplication in here. Okay, is equal to x is what you get. So it becomes 2y minus 4 is equal to x. Then what do? You change x to y and y to x. So it becomes 2x minus 4 is equal to the f inverse of x. This is how you denote the function f inverse x. They may not give you, they may give you just, express f inverse of x. This is what they would write and show it to you. So whenever you see this, means the inverse function is what you have to learn. Okay, the next is, if the function f of x is defined as this, find the value of f of 1. That means in place of x, it was x here, now it has been replaced with 1. So you are supposed to, what are you supposed to do in here? You are supposed to substitute it and then see it. So that becomes f of 1 is equal to 3 times of 4 plus 1, that is equal to 3 over 5. That is it. Okay, state which of the value of x must be excluded from the domain of y. What value of x has to be removed from the domain of f? So not a y. Okay, now there is something called as a range and a domain in this particular category of functions, or when you're studying functions, there's something called as domain and range. What do these actually mean, and how do we solve them? Let's see. So let's write down. Just allow me a minute. Okay, so here when you're talking about the domain and range thingy, if I see, domain is the set of all possible values of x that you can allow to put into the domain can be the input values, you can say input values, but these input values should not make the denominator a 0. The denominator should not become a 0 is what is the only criteria that we see or that we pay attention to. Okay, it should never become a 0. Then what is range? Range is the output values that you get. What is range? The output that you get when you substitute an input. So here, this particular equation, if I substitute, it is given as 4 plus x. If I take x is equal to negative 4, then what is going to happen? 3 over 4 minus 4, that becomes 3 over 0, and the function goes undefined. Okay, it goes as undefined. So when I say something goes as undefined, I cannot solve it further. So the only value that you have to escape in the domain is x is equal to minus 4. Rest all the other values can be taken because if I take x is equal to minus 4, that will nullify my denominator. That will make my denominator a 0. So we have to avoid that particular function, that particular value. Okay, the next is the function g is defined by this. Given that g of a is equal to 7, find the value of a. First of all, g of a it is saying, so in place of x put an a. So g of a is equal to 5 plus a, and then it is saying, now this is g of a, this is also g of a. Now both of them is equal to 7, so it becomes 5 plus a is equal to 7. This goes to the other side, it becomes 7 minus 5, which is equal to a 2. So a is equal to 2 is what you get. So these are the type of questions that is asked. Another question, if they ask g inverse of x, you have to do for this question itself. Then what is the inverse function that I've told you? The inverse function is, first you have to equate g of x, you have to take g of x, you take 5 plus x, then you equate this to y. When you equate this to y, first two steps, three steps actually you can say. Okay, equate this to y, first one, then make x as the subject, send it towards the other side, x is equal to y minus 5, then change x and y is equal to x minus 5. So this would be the inverse then, not y would be, but this part would be the inverse. Let's take another inverse function and see. If I have f of x is equal to 2x plus 3 over 7 is given to me, and I have to find the f inverse of x. Okay, fine. So how do I do it? There's simple basic steps that we are supposed to do. First, 2x plus 3 over 7 is there, equate it to y. This 7 goes here and make x the subject. First step is done. Second one, so 2x plus 3 is equal to 7 goes 7y it becomes. Then this goes in here, 2x is equal to 7y plus 3 goes becomes minus y. Okay, minus 3, then x goes in here, 2 goes in here, so 7y minus 3 over 2 it becomes. This would be the inverse that you get, but still it is in y. You have to change the x to y, so it becomes y is equal to 7x minus 3 over 2, and hence the red will be the final inverse answer that you would get. Okay, so this is how you do these questions of functions, sorry.